Hi, Flosstube. Welcome back to my little stitching channel. Yay! I'm Megan, and this is Flosstube. I think we're at number 15 now. Wow, 3 in a row. I'm doing this late on Sunday. It's 10:26. It's still Sunday. It's kind of been a crazy day. One of those days. Also, I hadn't finished one of the homeworks, and I wanted to get that done before doing the video. So, anyway, got that done. Kids are in bed asleep. Finally, little Miss Princess was not wanting to sleep. She was wanting to play with her Barbies. So, finally got her down, and so yes, it's currently quiet in the house, which is nice. So, I'm just going to jump right into it. I got a new toy, which I'll talk about. Doesn't have to do with cross-stitching, but it's a fun toy, and I've been playing with it since I got it yesterday. And, yeah, I'm getting ready to go play with it again. So, I'll show you a little bit more about it. So anyway, this week for stitching, of course, focused on the magical stitches, homework, and, there were 3 prompts this last week, and I did get all 3 done, and I did not have to do any penalty stitches. So, yeah, you can kind of tell I'm like tired, but I want to stay up and do fun stuff. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What can I say? It's Sunday evening. Okay, so for last week, we're still working on the Disney After Dark book from the Kingdom Keepers series. So last week the prompts were to read the following rhyme and stitch 300 stitches on something in the rhyme. The rhyme was "This is weird, like a man with a beard, green skin and pig's eyes, frog legs and fireflies, a dark cave with loud cries, a girl with tears in her eyes." So I chose to stitch on Ella, the Frog Princess by Mirabilia, because it has frog legs in it, so that's the picture. With little frog prince. And so I got 300 stitches done on this one. And this is on a Fabric Flare fabric, the Sky, Sea, and Sand. Sky, Sea, and Sand. So there we go. Another 300 stitches. Getting some color changes in there. I think it's going to be really awesome when it's all done. Really, really awesome. So that was that one. The next prompt was Facebook notifications popping up. Goodbye. I'll see that later. So this one is: each of the rides that has been damaged has hidden letters to help solve the puzzle. You must stitch 100 stitches for each option. Your project must contain an item that starts with one of the letters listed in each group. So I chose to do Royal Holiday, and that was for all 3. So this is Royal Holiday, also known as Christmas Queen. Love my Mirror Queens. I've got a lot of Mirror Queens. Love them. And so what I did for those, for the first set of letters was FME. So I did flame for the F. Second group was YIRS. So I did ribbon for the R, because there's ribbon on her dress. And then for the TPN, which was the third group of letters, I did trim for T, because there is trim on her cloak for trim. So, and this was a new start, also on the Fabric Flare fabric, Snow Shelf. And there we go. That's 300 stitches. So just working up there on her knee. So that is how far I got on that one. So that was a little more than 300. It was like 304 or something like that. The last prompt was, since our DHI has been sleeping and cannot be woken up, stitch 400 stitches on your most boring project that makes you want to sleep. And as I said, I don't really have any boring projects. This one I just have not been getting motivation to stitch, so And it's on kind of boring fabric. I mean, I think really the only other things that I stitch on white are my Hades. And even those aren't Ada. So, anyway, so I stitching on the castle. And there's what it looks like. Nice and pretty. And that's how far I got. It's got a bunch of gray added. Working. You can see where the castle goes, and then the dragon will curl around that. So anyway, I got 456 stitches onto that one. I only had to do 400. Did a little bit more. So that was all last week's. So I'll keep that one out so it doesn't put these back in their little spots. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so that was last week's homework. Now this week's homework is, the theme is captured. My mouse isn't, my touch pad isn't feeling like working, but I have a touch screen, so it well works. So this is going to be an interesting week. So it starts out with, dear guests, I am sure you are all aware now that our DHI hosts have been on a special mission to figure out the secret letters we stitched last week. With your help, they figured out it meant my first pen. Thank you so much for your help. By the end of this week, we should capture Maleficent. Your managers will be busy helping with this task. Therefore, there will not be a question thread, and you will have to ask other resort guests for help. So usually they have a thread if there's any questions on that week's homework. So we don't have this. If you have questions, you got to talk with your buddies. And then they continue. We decided that this week there will be 4 different prompts, 1 for each resort. Easy, right? Well, to make it a fun activity, you need to pick projects to match the prompts. You will not know what prompt you are stitching until the day the homework starts. So this is kind of going to be a mystery one. A wheel will be spun for each resort and posted in your homework area. This will be posted in alphabetical order. Each resort will stitch on the prompt the wheel decides. Please pay attention to which prompt your resort will stitch. You will get your points if you stitch, but will not get the bonus if you stitch the wrong one. And also with the bonus, you can't do penalty stitches, so it has to be actual stitches. And I've got enough projects, I don't need to do penalty stitches on anything. So, threads. Welcome to my craft room, threads everywhere. So here are our 4 prompts. Prompt number 1. Because the Kingdom Keepers attended Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween party, stitch on a project that you would wear or find at a Halloween party. So then I'll just go through all of them and then I'll show you which ones I chose. The second is Maleficent prefers the cold. Stitch on something cold, a winter scene, a cold drink, wind, etc. Third is the Kingdom Keepers use the underground tunnels to get around Disney. Stitch on something you find underground. Plant, tree, roots, water, graves, house crawl spaces under the house. If you've been in those tunnels, they're pretty cool. And prompt number 4, the Kingdom Keepers have a special button they push that takes them back to reality. Stitch on a project that involves a button. LK Designs, clothing, Mill Hill kits, etc. And then the bonus stitches, if you stitch all the 300 stitches on whatever prompt is chosen, then you get an extra 100 stitches. Our last update for Boardwalk, we're at about 38%. So there's a total of 400,000 stitches that we have to put in towards Cinderella's castle. And we're about 38% of the way there. I'm almost done with my initial 1,000. And then I'm going to be having a truckload of bonus stitches on top of that. So, yeah, we're working on that. Okay, so what I chose for the 4 prompts. First one, stitch on a project that you would wear or find at a Halloween party. So I decided to do a new start and pull out one of my soda stitches. I love soda stitches. Oh my gosh, there's some new ones I saw. I don't know if they're new, but they're ones I have not seen before, and I gotta go buy them. I love my soda stitches. So I'm doing Pinup Girl. And the reason I'm doing Pinup Girl is because pretty much all of them are wearing some sort of costume. I mean, you've got your little maid, you've got your fancy drink, singer, let's say a singer at a luxury place. Anyway, so they're costumes. To me, these are costumes. Pinup girls wear costumes, usually. So, and a costume is something you would wear to a Halloween party. And so I will be starting this one, and I am doing this one. This is actually on a mist die from, well, it's not necessarily a mist die. It's a mess up one. So I don't even know what the original one is, but this is one from Fabric Flair from Stitchery Express. So there was white that shouldn't have been there, and there's like a mark on it. There, you can kind of see it there. So, but it's perfect to do pinup girls. So I'll be doing that on this one if that one is chosen. We will see. So that is what I chose if prompt 1 is chosen. If prompt 2 is chosen, stitch on something cold. I will be doing Beauty and the Beast, or as the technical title is The Beauty and the Beast, by Victoria Evchenko, and it's Beauty and the Beast in their winter scene. I think he's getting ready to dump snow on her. No, not really. He's holding up his cloak to shield her from the snow. Kind of looks like he's getting ready to dump snow on her head. Either way. And this one I am doing on this one was a fabric party fabric from Fabric Flair. This is the regular party from May of 2019. So you can buy this one from Fabric Flair. So it's called Old Tale. So I just have a little bit started right there. So yeah. So if that's the prompt we get, that's what I'll stitch on. My husband just shot me a look from the hallway. Like, okay, you're weird. It's all good. It's all good. Prompt number 3, if that one gets chosen, stitch on something you find underground. So if that prompt gets chosen, then I will be stitching on Last Stitch Cemetery by Heinzet, however you pronounce it. Because, say it's gravestones, and gravestones are on top of graves, and graves are underground. Stitching this one on a Fabric Flair, and this is their Glitter Bats. This was a Fabric Flair, or a Fabric Party fabric, I think last year or the year before, anyway. So that's how far I've gotten. Not very far, but it's really cool. So these bats are actually a glitter overlay, but they're really easy to stitch through. So if that's the prompt that gets chosen, that's the one I stitch on. Okay. And again, I'm on my phone still. I don't know what has happened to my poor computer. I just need to get like a microphone for my desktop. But wait, my desktop doesn't have a camera. That could be problematic. We'll just work with the phone right now. But anyway, I still don't know where to look. Cracks me up. For the last one is stitch on a project that involves a button. I will do Val Stitch, You're Freaking Me Out, because the cat's eyes are buttons. Yeah. This one I'm also doing on a Fabric Flair. I don't remember what it's called because I cut this piece off of it. So it's a really cool one though. Nice glitter stripey. So that's how far I am. You can see the glitter. Woo! So if that's the one that's chosen, I'll put 300 stitches into that one. So yeah. So those are the 4 projects that I have picked to go with those prompts. I do not know which one I will be doing. It doesn't start until midnight tonight, if I remember correctly. Yep. So start at 12 a.m. in the morning. So 00.00 if you're military time. What was that 24-hour? If you're 24-hour time, 00:00. So, in addition to that, I'm also working on some other projects. I'm working on my first conversion that I'm doing. So that I will probably show next week because a lot of those stitches will either go toward the January extra credit stitching for Magical Stitches or go towards Cinderella's Castle. So by that point, I'll just show it. I'm trying to keep it quiet for as long as I can. And then I also started my zombieified Baker's Wife by Mirabilia. I got the feathers on it. That's all I've done. Little feathers in her hair. So, working on those. So that's pretty much stitching project-wise. Got a tiny bit of haul this week. Got the fabric party fabric from Fabric Flair. So the limited edition for January 2020 is called 2 for Spring. So it's this and this. Or you can hold it like this. I have already planned what I'm stitching on this. It's going to be it's a Soda Stitch Dancing Fairies. They have it's the Dancing Flower Fairies. I'm actually going to keep that all as one piece, do it across. So the middle fairy will kind of be split between the two, and anyway, it's going to be really cool. Then the, you say limited edition on both of those? They're all limited edition. The other one is called New World. Is that not gorgeous? I will be doing Time Traveler on this one by Joan Elliott. Because, yeah, I saw it and I knew immediately. Actually, both of them I saw and knew immediately what I was going to do on them. So I got those two fabrics, and then Sandy at Stitchery Express carries all, the Bothy kits and the Santoro ones. And so I was just I was just feeling in the mood for one. So I picked up this one called the Scarf. She's cute and green, her little scarf. So it comes with all the floss and the printed fabric. So haven't started that one yet. I haven't figured out a prompt it goes in. So yeah, that's haul, that's stitching plans. Oh, my new toy. So for several years now, I've been wanting an embroidery machine. Many years. Well over 3. Probably like 5 or 8. Anyway. But I'm the ones that my personality is I want to have it be able to do just that. So my sewing machine is a Bernina, and it's the 550, and so it's really just the top of the line sewing only. I mean, it does a couple little teeny tiny, it does decorative stitches, and you can do little tiny embroidery fonts, but it doesn't really do embroidery. It just does like freehand quilting and sewing. That's it. So for the embroidery machine, I wanted to get one that was just an embroidery machine, and of course, I had to get my heart set on the Bernina 700, which is amazing. So I've been looking at it for quite a while, and it is a pricey machine. It's a single thread one, so it's not as pricey as when you get into the multi-thread ones. But I managed to find one pretty much more or less brand new, about 2 years old. Barely used at all, on eBay. Came with everything. And it arrived yesterday morning. And I have been doing nothing but playing with it since then. So I have just been doing test stitches and playing and ordering threads and getting a bunch of stuff. So my two things that I just finished today, the little snap Ort boxes are really going around. So I decided to make a snap Ort box. That is the TARDIS! So, yes, I'm in love with this. Still is a bit of a learning curve. The last time I actually sewed on an embroidery machine was about 3 years ago. So I'm still kind of having to remember how to do like this. This is actually the second one. The first one had to be thrown away because I just totally messed up on it because I did it wrong. So this is the second one. Almost perfect. So really excited about it. I like it. I do have a snap I actually have 2 snap ort ones. Oh, that's right. Hang on. Forgot one thing in haul. I got one other ort box from Cindy. I take my little orts out of here. It is the child, aka Baby Yoda. Because when everybody, and for those who know, whenever people are like, oh, that's Baby Yoda, oh my gosh, he was so cute. So this must have happened, Mandalorian must have been set before. No. It was not set. We just call it Baby Yoda because nobody knows Yoda's species. It was purposefully left out. We've only seen 2 others of Yoda's species, Yoda himself, and then a female that was on the Jedi Council and in the prequels. Other than that, no idea. So this is a baby of whatever species Yoda is, known as the child in The Mandalorian. But everybody calls him Baby Yoda. So, anyway, got that. So the other thing that I stitched up on my machine, it's so pretty. Yeah. I'm having way too much fun with this thing. Way too much fun. Got a bunch of projects already planned out. Gonna play with. All that fun stuff. So anyway, hope everybody has a good stitching week. I guess I'll be figuring out around midnight. I'll probably be asleep, so tomorrow morning, what project I will be stitching on, my 300 stitches. Since it's only 300 stitches, I'm probably going to finish that up pretty quick. And then I'll probably do the extra credit stitching to fill up the rest of the week. So, another embroidery project. Ugh, all these things. This is a project bag that I'm making. I added that. Pretty princess. Yeah. Told you I'm having fun with it. So, yes. Anyway, if you've gotten this far, if you like it, if you want to see more of my crazy airheadiness, whatnot. Okay, not really. If you want to see more fun stitching stuff, hit subscribe. Be awesome. You can leave a comment with any questions, thoughts, smiley faces. It's all good. And have a great stitching week. Have a great crafty week. Have a great week. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.